chaos action, knowing that you already solidified your spot. And for everyone else, good luck. Have fun.
That's exactly right. I said it at the beginning yesterday, and I'll say it again at the beginning of this one, Tiff. 36 teams because the top 4 have already made it. We're looking for the final 5th team. But again, kills literally don't matter unless it's just keeping your team alive. We see a ton of early contests in other places, but the team that just barely missed out of the top 4, Toyor, they had, frankly, pretty good map. Unfortunately, every team ahead of them on the leaderboard also had a good map, so they didn't still have an opportunity. But to the Gulag we go, and we're going to be hanging out here a lot in our wild card map. And unfortunately, it doesn't look like only will, but because, well, the Gulags are nearly everything, Tiff, especially in the like early mid game. This is the life of the tournament on the line. This is your final moment of the LCQs to make grand finals. You got to make a move.
You really do. And honestly, what was your prediction? I think you threw it on the timeline.
I did.
What was it?
Yeah, see, here's the thing, Tiff. I'm no stranger to being right in the LCQs. I'm also no stranger to being dead wrong in the LCQs. So I might be somewhere near the middle as we see Wiz go kind of wild here to clean up a couple kills that he got. Yeah, my pick is the German trio, Marcus, Rafix, and Scuffology. Frankly, I've been loving their rotations. They've been great getting to in-game. They also won final 2 maps in an earlier stage in this competition, so I think it's just kind of high time that they get their win. We'll see if maybe Jama can win his here in the Gulag, but that's my team of choice. We'll see what they can do this time around.
Ooh, I mean, it could be a good one. It would be nice to see Jama and them kind of clutch up also. And, you know, I would really like to see the Clapper roster make it. They already won a map and, you know, we'll check back in with them. Chow versus Tony White in the Gulag here. Little warning shots. Now you're kind of giving away the location. We got that smoke and now we are full send and
sneaky.
Kind of send the middle, and it's a little tough for these squads. Let's see if these teammates have any better luck.
No, wow, that was, yeah, how about a stick to the face too? Gulag's getting a little spicy already. Look, frankly, none of this really matters. Like at the end of the day, you just gotta be the last team alive. So if you're already falling pretty early, it doesn't spell, you know, good fortune for you to be the final team remaining. But we've seen teams do crazy things here in the wildcard map. So again, last team alive, you make global finals. If you get second with 45 kills, no one cares. You did a great job cleaning up the map, but you don't make it. The truth is you just got to win. So I think while we have a moment to breathe and watch some of these teams rotate around, we see a couple fights here. We're going to be trying to shout out the teams that get fully eliminated, Tiff, because we have this rare moment where we kind of just yap and chat and talk about the circles and stuff. Again, folks at home could take a look at that on the Call of Duty YouTube channel if you want to take a look at where our map's at. And then things are going to get absolutely unbelievable at the end of this game. So many teams alive depending on the zone. Okay, so watch out for that. It's gonna be kind of slow here at the beginning, and then it's gonna get wild.
It really is. And Paxor there unfortunately falls in the Gulag. Hopefully some of the teammates can keep the dream alive, knowing that this is the wild card. If y'all 3 go to the Gulag, you want one to get out. Looks like R7 will be able to achieve that. So far, no teams have fully been eliminated, which is great. And usually this does move a bit slower than the beginning matches that we had witnessed, but Circle 1 is just about to close. There are a couple things that'll be consistent here, and that fire sale at the top of round 3 will be one of them. I'd like to see some advanced UAVs come through and kind of get that information as to where we are going. I don't care if you look in the bunkers, you grab foresight, or you farm recon contracts, whatever it is that needs to be the best case of success for you, do it. As we just slide cancel Gulag.
Yeah, I was going to say, we definitely wanted to see Gulags. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like anybody else is dying on the map, so Rain is just going to run around in circles for a while. So we head back to the game here. Yeah, zones. I mean, right now, it's looking like a little bit Eastern, probably. We could see maybe a kind of like low town-ish farms finish, maybe, is my guess, but frankly, we're too early to maybe call that. It looks like there's several teams that are kind of hedging their bets that way as well, but tons of teams playing as far west as you can go, even with this zone showing probably an Eastern finish, because frankly, they think they can probably rotate in a bit later than maybe they can. So we'll see. We'll try to keep an eye out for some of those teams on the wide rotations, big key things that a lot of these teams use. Vehicles, huge for success, especially as we get closer to the late game. You don't want to burn these vehicles out too early. They're super valuable in late game, and it's a great way to wrap if you need to, as the zone punishes you or rewards you.
All right, Chow, full regain for them over here in Village. Not too bad. I'm still looking around for like uncharacteristic things that we were kind of expecting to see that would really throw a wrench into it. Like I wasn't expecting that weapon choice, but maybe a battle for the train.
I don't know if this is a hot take. I think the train is super fun. One of my favorite value adds. I love that you can change directions. It's kind of horrible to hang out on. You can get shot in so many different ways. All of these walls are wall bangable. You don't really have a lot of cover, and we're seeing that here on main stage. A Spyro's team in an utter blender right now from Benno and Physic pushing the equation, trying to wipe some of the teams here in the lobby. We still haven't lost a team yet, but a lot of teams have already used their gulags and burned a ton of resources. Not a fan of using the train for cover. It just doesn't really work.
It really doesn't. It's nice to kind of take control of it and have the ammo cache and the buy there. But for now, a lot of squads, you're right, getting into that early action in Lowtown. If we're going to keep centering up and we've got all 36 teams still on that Urzikstan match, no one willing to fall just yet. With Spyro, Monzo, Rancid gets under the cover of the building. We gotta start taking some angles. You've got that Jesus Jr. roster kind of rotating into this area as well, and knowing that they already had the capabilities of getting a match win in our earlier series, they very well could do it again here.
This might be the one and only time, by the way, that teams might have more information than us. If they're getting a ton of recons done, a lot of these contracts to give circle information, we could see the conglomeration of all these teams to Lowtown because they know this is where the in circle is. Not guessing, they know it because they're doing recons. The problem with recons, shoot the flare up in the air, people will know where you are. So it's a little bit of a high risk, high reward strategy, if you can even call it that, going for recons when all 36 teams are still alive. But action continuing to spiral, kills continuing to fall in the feed, but no teams fully eliminated.
Still holding down, like we said, a lot of conservative playstyle coming out from our rosters. Actually, we only have 2 players in general that are off the map, and with Circle 2 about to kick off, and we'll see where Circle 3 pulls up. I'm just kind of biting my breath to see where we end up going, and for the time being, Intercensal in the Gulag, too strong on the other side.
Yeah, looks like an Italian trio gets cut down and all 3 into the Gulag. This could be one of the first teams to get fully eliminated. We'll see. I would love, while we have a moment here, to show the map view if we can. Folks at home, you can take a look at it yourself, of course, on YouTube, but the map is pulling Lowtown and Farms. It's kind of exactly what we thought. Could go either way still, though, Tiff. So here's a quick look at that map. Most teams have predicted Lowtown. Look how many there are sitting in Lowtown right now. A couple on the kind of eastern side of the map there in Farms, looking to maybe make a play across the river there. But the teams in Farms are going to be punished if it does end in Lowtown because they do have to cross the water or the bridge.
Good shouts there for Gabs in the Gulag. Still a very healthy lobby, but needs to keep on moving. Down to a duo here, maybe looking for a buy station to get back to a full 3, but back to Gabs to see if we can hit it. Meanwhile, we did get that buyback onto Intercensal.
Yeah, full team up. Even if they lose, it's not the end of the world. Ideally, you don't have to spend the cash because, well, cash is certainly king and you need that a lot, and you will lose one. So you are going to spend basically all of your cash to get back your third, which really does suck, frankly, because you need UAVs, you need information, and you need it now. As you're rotating in your edge of zone, I don't know that you can make really a play into this zone without getting punished somewhere. I think the only place in the new zone that is wide open is kind of that like north outpost place, which is actually where we saw our last wildcard map from North America end, just on the north side of Old Town. It's the only spot on the map right now in this circle that is pretty much wide open with no teams even planning on going there right now. So keep an eye out for that. But well, speaking of keeping an eye out, unfortunately, we're going to continue to keep eyes out for people in the Gulag because frankly, this is the only action that really matters. This is where you're going to be losing a lot of your teammates.
And you're losing a lot, but we're still regaining as our lobby just keeps repopulating back on up. We've been sitting north of 100 players the entire time, and no team has been fully wiped just yet. But the amount of teams that have moved into that low town area are making things pretty hectic. You think of the layer cake that we got in the wild card map of the World Series of Warzone Last Chance Qualifier last year, where Tactical Brit was able to thrive and be the last one standing after we pulled out a village on Al Mazrah. Crystal shots on the opposing side, and Benno on 4 eliminations, looking for 5, still trying to hold it down. Gets the reload onto the BP-50, taking some angles and not able to finish it off. Crystal, okay.
AB Wiz had a pretty solid performance in Global Finals last year, but been fairly quiet since then. A very rough day today, but does win the Gulag, a big win. And also, by the way, we do have one team, it looks like, fully eliminated. I don't know who it is. I think they're in the bottom 30s, something like that. Would love to get a chance to see which team is out, but frankly, we're going to see a lot of teams fall here probably in the next like 2.5, 3 minutes as the circle gets smaller and smaller, especially when this circle closes here in 20 seconds. This will give us a ton of info, so I'd love to see that new circle shown here on broadcast if we can, because this is where it's going to get real mixy. If it pulls towards farms, it is going to be utter chaos in low town as everyone tries to rotate out early and catch up in farms. So here's the look as we take a quick swing through the teams. Wow, it pulls onto low town. Yeah, I think the players knew more than we did, Tiff, because of the recons. It goes low town and will likely end low town, and a couple of our farm teams are going to have to rotate in.
Well, at least they do have the redeploy zip to work with, but you've got that squad number 10. That's maybe Team Skinner, and they're just holding it down. Now, this was the lucky pick that our random generator kind of threw down, but Sion finds himself in the gulag, and we got one more player left standing, about to go into a big 1v3.
If this guy 1v3s, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might leave you to solo cast the rest of this. Be an incredible feat.
You're just gonna be like, I'm taping my mouth back shut. Right. I'm done.
That's right. And I think he knows this is gonna be a really tough one to win. Gotta isolate all these 1v1s. And I think Kong might just full send from the redeploy zip. Sure. Oh no, it gets punished. Okay, wait a minute. Tiff, you might be solo casting the rest of this. Come on. Looks like a third party from distance, but Team 38 potentially being the team maybe playing spoiler from distance, but or at least just kind of threatening. Kong thought better of that one.
Yeah, no cash. Wanting to see if maybe the teammate can get out of the gulag. If anything, you can kind of run around, grab the cash, and come back swinging. We need $2,300, but look at this. We're still not done. We're tanking the mortar. We're just praying.
Yeah, still 35 out of 36, by the way. Team Solds is the team that, well, frankly, sold in this one. First team out, fully eliminated, not going to be making it to grand finals. But there's got to be one. And we actually see Intercessal go down. That is that Kong squad we were just watching. The third party apparently came in from the opposite side. So you see Sion try to keep this team alive and is able to do so. We will not be seeing Kong at the grand finals either. 2 teams down, and it's about to get real nasty real quick in our next zone.
Oof. What is happening? Like, the fact that we've lost out on 2 squads. Team Kong gonna be the second one that gets full wiped here, but still a very healthy lobby. Now, we've already gotten through the point of where we've had that fire sale. If you stocked up on all the goodies, great. But the majority of our squads, they found a building, they're setting up shop, they're putting their interior design decorations all on point. Whether that's a trophy system or bouncing Betties galore, whatever it takes to make you feel very comfortable. But our teams are not interested in fighting in Lowtown right now.
No, there's no reason to, especially if you do have a building completely secured and by yourself. You're covering all the advances. You're covering all the ways to get into the building. You're just going to hang out. I mean, look at them all. I mean, this is, again, all quiet here on the kind of eastern front of the map here in Lowtown. You've got to hold on to these positions and just bide your time. Here's another strategy. Why don't you just hang out in a helicopter? I don't mind it. I don't hate it at all. The problem with it is all it takes is one Kar 98 to the face and you're gonna be in trouble, or maybe a couple ARs, maybe a couple SVAs. Who knows? A superior 2 can take you down as well.
I mean, as long as you got the gas and the thing is healthy, sure. But as soon as you call it out, we're already seeing people start to really target. Goodbye, Diablo. Down and out at the hands of Rocket.
Yeah.
Rocket grabs Ghoul. Wow. This is falling apart real quick for this roster here on the screen.
Yeah, Tim, here's the thing about this strategy, all right? This isn't Verdansk anymore. These helis, they're not very, what I'll call hardy, I guess. They die.
Hardy?
They die quick. They don't offer a lot of cover. Still very good for rotations. But when there are 34 teams that can shoot at you while you're flying in, I think they definitely thought better of that one. Maybe very late game when if any team looks up and shoots at you, they're going to give away their lives to somebody else. But to the action we go. The team that got 5th, looking to prove that they are actually supposed to be there. Just barely missing out, and so far so good on the edge of zone, but frankly, I don't think edge of zone is where you want to be right now.
I was gonna say, yeah, you don't want to be there. You want to find yourself in a nice spot, but we have one heck of a zone pull in Toyor, Palooka against Tachi. They've got the work to be done. Now, they're moving towards the center of the zone, and look where it has pulled. Water all between them. A bridge to the north still in play. We have the smallest rock of cover here to play with. And honestly, they just need to make sure that they've got their back clear, which they definitely don't when you look at the mini map up left, because we're looking for the only building, and goes your pick. They've got it.
They've got that center. They've got the building. The problem is everybody wants it, so everybody's going to swing on them. There's going to be a third party here, no problem. Let's see what the Germans can do. Marcus Scavology holding it down in center. Shots going down from all which directions. Nobody can get a handle on where we should even look at this point. And because of all the covering fire, because of the C4s and everything in between, Marcus's team is still safe for a moment. A hair to breathe, but here comes the push. You got to make it, and you make it now. Marcus got to come out on top. You want Ghost to be correct, and right now, apparently I am right. Toyor all by himself and in trouble. Where do you go from here? There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Unfortunately, Toyor, you are out of here.
Oh no, we got a self-res though. We are still alive. And we've got a mobile. Okay, welcome back, Tachi. Still hanging on by a thread. Now, mind you, it doesn't have to be flashy. It doesn't have to be pretty. You just have to know when to ice up.
All right, folks, I need you to buckle in. We've got 30 teams remaining, and this next zone, there are 3 total buildings inside of the circle, and the rest is water and what I'll call river coastline, all right? Look at this thing. We've got Squad 7, Squad 9, and Squad 12 all inside the zone with Squad 10 right beneath them, sharing a building or a pair of buildings, it looks like. Those are the teams in cover already. They technically have the best position, and everybody else is battling out in the edges of the zone. Here's a quick look at the overhead of some of these teams. You see Pink Turtle, Solitude, Zakar, all in the mix and all inside of buildings. But here come, what is this? This is like something in Spain. They're running with the Bulls. What is going on right now? This is chaos. It's Jesus Jr. and everybody in between. Smoke and run, smoke and cover. We got to get to the zone.
It's the running of the smokes, not the bulls, but it's happening. And Tomster Bomb, Pink Turtle, Skinner have found themselves in that building alongside Too Strong. There's LTVs in the midst with Valvin looking to put up some numbers if he can just find people, but not a lot of people out in the open. And quite frankly, Darzity lays splashed, trying to cut people down. Jesus Jr. takes the brunt of that damage, but stays up somehow and is just flying around the map as a solo.
Unreal. Look at the new zone. Everybody's gonna be wide out in the open. Not a single building is inside new. It is wide out in the open, on the river coastline, in the water. This is going to be utter chaos, and it's gonna come down to smokes, and it's gonna come down to PDSs for the final wraps through. Marcus's team is still holding down. It's the yellow 7 at the bottom of the screen when we see the mini-map, but up at the top, Darzity raining terror. Again, kills don't matter. You gotta get to zone, and they still have to cross the river tip. I don't know how you're gonna get out of this alive. Sure, you're gonna punish some teams. Sure, you're gonna cut some teams down. We're seeing teams fall left, right, and center. We went from 30 down to 16 in the blink of an eye, and it's only gonna get worse.
This is crazy. This is the most chaotic thing I have ever seen. Lays Darzity making the play, doing the Hail Mary dolphin dive into the water where we can focus on healing. We lose out on one, but so far we are just like, okay, I got a PDS here. What other goodies can I find lurking beneath me? But a pistol in hand, and well, remind you, it only takes one. Someone's trying to call in that mobile buy station, and while everything just erupts in sheer chaos, buybacks galore,
Darcy, you're just gonna swim. You just gotta keep swimming and just see what happens. I don't care if you're finding Nemo or anybody in between. You just gotta keep swimming. The pull of the zone, it goes to absolutely nobody. To the river it goes. We are gonna have a water finish, folks, and it's gonna get real nasty real quick. The team inside the zone, yellow 7, that's Marcus, that's Scuffology. They're hanging out, PDSing, holding on, and they're getting a ton of eliminations, which don't matter. But we go to the river, and several teams try to make a move. It's Pink Turtle making a move first. You see them tin in that weird blue color. But this Marcus squad, they've got plenty of resources. They've been here since nearly the beginning of the game. We go to the river, folks, and it's going to be a battle up the river. You know what they say about rivers? If you don't have a creek, you can't go up the river. But right now, you just need to be swimming in the river to make sure you stay alive.
No paddles here, but they're keeping the high ground. They have this building, and someone's trying to play on their low. Here come the streaks. We knew this was going to be a massive factor, especially for all of the chaos in the water. I see Rocket, Zakar, Peter, Splawick, Quicker, Skinner. Who is going to outlast in this area? You can see Splawick looking for just some land so they can make sure that they can anchor from that PDS down on the left. But all of these free cams, this is just painting one hell of a picture because more buybacks coming in, and as you can see, we cannot.
So many portable buys. You've got Team Rocket, all 3 alive. You've got Team 40, Splawick, all 3 alive. Team Rocket getting cut down by that Team 40. They're trading out in control deck. It's going to come play spoiler. Could clean up some of these teams that have a good spot. Team Rocket is not going to allow him to get here all too easily. We've got 2 more alive for Team Rocket. Team Rocket could do it right now. They've got a nice high ground position. Team Marcus fully eliminated, 7th place. They don't make it, and right now it is all on the back of Rocket as he barely keeps his teammate alive. He gets the revive off. This could be the difference maker. This could be the team to win it all. They could make it through LCQs and make it to the grand finals again. They've got high ground. They've got the gunny. They're not letting anybody swim away. This river, they're just shooting fish in a barrel. They're not salmon. They can't swim upriver. They can't go anywhere. We're deep in the zone. Tim, this is all she wrote. This is going to be Team Rocket unless there's a heroic play. Could they do it? A 2v1. They did it last year. They'll do it this time in the wild card game. They're trying to find the final player, but they don't need to. The gas gets its victim, and at the end of the day, Team Rocket is blasting off to the grand finals. Are you kidding me?
They won a map in an earlier series, and they're like, look, it's not done. It's not over. We've got more to go, and they don't get into the top 4, but you know what? They had the ability to lock it in for a map